question is, what is generics? Okay, so as the name suggests, generic means generic data type. So just imagine if you want to add two numbers. Okay, when you want to add two numbers, you'll write a function fn add, and you'll have two parameters, x which is i32, y which is i32, which gives you a result which is also i32, right? But the issue with such kind of programming is basically that you cannot write one more function that takes parameters as float, because a function with same name cannot be allowed in a programming language. So what will you do when you have to work with different data types? You might want to give a different name like add f, add I, and then you want to do all these things. Add I stands for add integers, add f stands for what, add float, etc., etc. Now this is actually a hectic task to do, right? So we want a generic function that can actually encompass all of these things together. How can we do that? And Rust offers generic data types to do so. Or a good example would be considering string concatenation and addition. So if you use the addition operator in most of the language, not in the case of Rust, but in most of the languages, if you use the addition operator, you can add two integers, you can add two floating point numbers, and in the same way, you can concatenate two strings. Okay. So now you can see the add operator can do two or three operations at the same time. So it uses generic data type implementation, right? So in a similar way, a generic functions allow us to reduce code duplication, where it can be used to create definitions for a function or signature or struct, which we can then use for a many different concrete data types. Okay. Now, when defining a function that uses generics, we place the generic in the signature. So what we want to change, we don't want to change the process. We don't want to change the function name also. We want to change the parameter data types. Okay. Now, a simple case is actually discussed here. Like say, if you want to find the largest in a vector of numbers or characters, we can define a simple function or a single function using the generics.